Hello everyone, it's Todd Screaman, CEO of Summit Funding. I wanted to give you a tool that we could all use more of, and it's called Delegation 101. And I want to give you some thoughts around delegation and then tell you the 3 mistakes that people make when they do delegate. So the first thing is you got to understand the psychological pull on why we don't delegate. And I'll speak from experience that the reason that I micromanaged people and didn't delegate is because there's an ego boost to it. It makes me feel important. When I have to do everything, it makes me feel very important. So that was my thought process, say 15 years ago. Today, I literally think I should do nothing because I know the art of delegation, and why should I own a company and do anything, okay? And so you see how extreme those are. Delegation, it takes a lot of self-control, but the simple process to it is actually super simple. You take these questions, and as long as you take time and answer these questions, every time you effectively delegate, you're going to be a great delegator. Not kind of a good delegator, a great delegator. By the way, leadership, there's been studies on this. The number one hardest skill to teach is delegation. It's the hardest skill to get people to actually do. So I think that's interesting. Here's what you do. When you delegate, you want to answer who, what, where, when, how, and why. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. Okay? If you do that, so I'll give you an example. Mike, so that's the who. Mike, I want you to go downstairs and get the clothes out of my car that I left hanging there. My car is in the second stall closest to the fire hydrant. Okay? Can you get those to me by 10 a.m. today? It's 9 a.m. now. Okay? Here's my keys. You got to press the unlock button twice to get the back door to unlock. And the reason I need those is because I'm shooting some videos today and I totally forgot my change of clothes. Now, I just did a super simple role play about someone getting something out of a car. But if you read through those, I answered all those questions. If you do it, you could do that same role play in a team meeting, and if you take the time and you explain those things, and then you give the person a chance to answer any questions they got, you'll be a great delegator. I mean a great delegator, okay? So let's talk about the mistakes that people most commonly make. By far, number one, is they don't have regular meeting times to delegate. You know, most meetings are about delegation. It's about communication and delegation. And so they don't have regular meeting times. Number two, not slowing down to delegate properly and answer all the questions. Most people's delegations sound like this. Hey, Mark, can you go down to the car and get me my clothes? Then Mark brings them back, but they're 2 hours later. Mark, I said I wanted those. No, you didn't. You want me to read your mind? You didn't say by 10 a.m. You just said go get them sometime today, I thought. Right? That's so different, right? You take that stupid scenario right there, times it times about 100, and that's how most people live their work week, okay? There's just constant miscommunication because they don't have a structure for communication. Number three is not taking the time to train people on how to do the task, okay? Because that's really what takes the time. The structure will help answer all the questions, but what takes time is training people on how to do the subject, okay? How to do the activity, whatever it is. And that is, those 3 things are just, they're nails in the coffin for delegation. If you think about this, guys, this happens in our professional life, it happens in our work life. You know, take your children, for example. Do they really know exactly what you want from them? Do you take the time to say who, what, where, when, why, and how? Do we really do that? Most people, if they're honest, they're leaving 3 or 4 of the answers out every single time they delegate, and then they wonder why people don't do what they want, okay? It's not that people don't want to please you. People do want to please you. That's not the issue. The issue is that you have to answer all those questions. You got to have a regular meeting times. You got to slow down, and they got to know how to do the activity that you're asking them to do when it's a complicated activity, okay? Guys, take this to the bank because this is what works. One of the hardest and biggest business skills anyone will ever have to learn. Thank you.